So this is the state of affairs of the country right now. So it is not even right now about saying Raila is the one sponsoring this so-called mass unrest. No, it's not Raila. People of Kenya are suffering, and when a pig is being beaten, what happens? You hear a voice, and this voice is terrible to the ears. You want to close your ears and sleep and avoid hearing such a sound. That is exactly what now our political class wants to do, because someone who is already established and has a lot of wealth and financial power does not really care about the man that does not even have land, a man who is surviving on God's grace day by day. So these people do not have that in mind. We can even remember our Swahili saying mwenye shibe mkumbuki mwenye njaa. This is exactly what is happening, because right now as we speak, the finance bill is just a convenience bill. I will call it a convenience bill because its main purpose is simply to put some coins in the hands of the president, William Ruto, so that he can do his agendas and his big plans. The thing about William Ruto personality is that one of the person of doing this patriarchal personality, the same personality that we saw in Daniel Arap Moi. So this man personality enjoys a lot, especially when you are credited. You are called the powerful man. That is power to you are acknowledged. Everyone acknowledged. So Ruto wants to be acknowledged, not only as a man who rose from poverty to power, but also as a man who ruled with power and also maybe made a lot of significant impacts in this country. So the age bracket of William Ruto right now is around nearly 60 there. And in this age bracket, people want to make legacies and make great memories. So with this in mind, we have to realize that these finance bills and the rest will continue. There are some politicians have also supporting William Ruto already. Watch the following clip.
Opinions and sentiments on certain parts of the finance bill, and also they've raised concerns about the cost of living, right, and the hardships and the promises that were made by the Kenya Kwanza government, right. So that's the party. I think you saw the interview by Baba yesterday, where he said the position of the party will be stated on Thursday. Right, so we're waiting for the final draft to be tabled. I believe that there's been a lot of discussions, and I hope that the government has been listening to the sentiments of people and the partners and the private sector, because SDG number 17 is about partnerships. When you're running a government, you're not running it in isolation of everyone. You're running it with all your partners. So if the government has heard the sentiments of the people, then they will make some adjustments. We know that the government requires money to run itself. Right now, we know that, and we see the headlines, and they're screaming that you've got cars that are grounded, you've got prisoners that don't have food, you've got hospitals that probably are running out of money. You have all those expenditures that need to be catered for. Now, when it comes to housing, I think the housing, because of the way it was structured and people not able to really understand it properly, it became a big confusion. Now, if you're a labor-intensive company, obviously you're thinking, if I'm going to be paying 2,500 for all my senior management, I'll be having this big amount to rebate. But it's a tax deductible, all right? And if you're making profits, then I think it's a little sacrifice for us to ensure that all our people living in the slums, which is over 80% of our population, actually end up with decent housing. SDG says we need to give decent housing to our people, decent jobs to our people. So we need to look into that. Now, here in Nairobi, a few months ago, a little girl, Ashley, in Dagoretti North, was washed away by the raging river. We've never found her body. Now, for me, that's because she lived in a tin hut house right on the edge of the river.
Whether right or wrong, it does not matter. What matters here is that the finance bill causes a lot of suffering to Kenyans who are already facing the difficulties of taxation. So this kind of policy will only cause a lot of problems to people that are suffering already. And as I said in earlier videos, if you make things so difficult that people do not find it easy to survive anymore, they will resort to other methods of survival, and these methods may go contrary to the established laws. So if the best thing for a country to do is to go according to its pace, because if you overtax the poor, the revenue will not yield anything. People have been overtaxed over many years. What are we seeing in Kenya if not the recursive effects of the same patterns of events? So it is a very important moment in this country for us to think, especially our political leaders, to think about the people of Kenya right now who are not even able to raise rent, who live under problems continually. And if these politicians call themselves Christians, they will act the way Christians do, and that is help the fellow man, love your neighbor, love your countrymen. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share and subscribe.